Welcome to the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio from Boise, Idaho. This is your host, Adam Graham. If you have a comment, email it to me, box13@greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Detectives. And become one of our friends on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio Detectives. Before we do get started, I do want to encourage you, if you've not already, pick up your copy of What Made the Golden Age Shine. It's my 8,000-word commentary on what made the Golden Age of entertainment so special and so enjoyable. And it is available for the Kindle for 99 cents, so pick up your copy of What Made the Golden Age Shine. Also over at greatdetectives.net this weekend, my review of Johnny Dollar, the comic book. We take a look at Moonstone Comics Johnny Dollar issue from a few years back. So be sure and read my review of The Brief Candle Matter. Well, now it's time for today's episode of Police Headquarters. It's William Spencer killed and racetrack on Police Headquarters.
Police Headquarters calling detectives car 46, car 46. Captain Fraser, call your station. That's all.
Pull in at the box here, Andy.
Right, Captain. Wonder what they want.
Don't know, but we'll find out. This is Captain Fraser. All right, we're at 6th and Slauson now. We'll run right over. Call for Doc Brady and an ambulance.
What's up, Captain?
Don't know yet. They just discovered a body in a vacant lot over near the river on 16th Street. Step on it.
Okay. Captain.
Hello, Evan. I see you boys are keeping yourselves busy.
Yeah, we found a case for you. Thought you'd better not move anything until we got here.
Who is it?
I don't know.
Well, throw your light on him, Andy.
Right.
I know this guy. When we were kids, we used to live next door to each other. I busted his nose once for cheating at marbles, but he was a nice kid. Named Spencer. Ace Spencer.
Gambler, huh?
Yeah, he'd bet on anything. I used to tell him, Ace, we're going to pick you up dead sometime. It'll either be by your own hand because you're broke or because you've cut corners on some guy. And, well, who found him?
I did. I was walking along the river road about 4 blocks from here when I heard a shot. I figured it was up this way. I guess it was about 10 minutes before I found him. I saw he was shot in the chest, so I beat it to an all-night restaurant on the corner and called for you.
I'm glad you did. Of course, the world won't miss Ace Spencer much, but he was a swell guy.
Yeah.
What do you know about him?
Nothing, Captain. I'm just agreeing with you.
Did you see or hear a car around after the shot?
No, sir.
His shirt and chest are powder burned. Looks like he let himself have it and pitched forward.
Here's the rod, Captain. 32 automatic. Loaded for 1. And here's the ejected shell.
Did you go through his pockets?
First thing. Had $5.60 in his pants. Not a dime in his wallet. There's a package of matches with the name Carrington Hotel stamped on them.
$5, eh?
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, he was carrying 10 grand or so. He must have taken an awful beating.
Yeah.
Will you go back on your beat, Evans?
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to get rid of that guy. He's standing around saying, yeah, gives me the willies.
Yeah.
Let me see that gun. His gun, all right. He wanted to get a license to carry it the last time I talked to him. I told him nothing doing. He laughed and said he wouldn't need it. Said the only one he'd ever use it on would be himself.
You think he'd done the job himself, Captain?
Well, those all the earmarks of a homemade job. We might check up on the Carrington Hotel. It's a pretty risky place for a guy with only $5 to be staying, but, well, come on.
Yes, sir.
I'm Captain Fraser from Police Headquarters. Do you have a man registered here by the name of Spencer? William Spencer.
Just a minute. Say, that guy didn't live here the way he was dressed. He must have picked those matches up.
Well, it's the only thing we have to go on.
There doesn't seem to be anyone registered here by the name of Spencer.
Let me see your register a minute.
Certainly.
What are you looking for, Cap?
Oh, I don't know. Just familiar names. Oh, here's one. W.F. Collins. That's Bull Collins, another gambler, and here's Flash Douglas. seems to be a hangout of gamblers.
Yeah, but Ace Spencer ain't in their class.
Oh, he isn't, eh? Listen, those guys couldn't hold a candle to Ace Spencer in his prime. Come on.
Where now?
Just a matter of routine. We're going to make the rounds of the cheaper hotels. I've got a hunch that Ace had a room at one of them.
How long you going to keep this up, Captain? Do you know we haven't stopped for lunch?
Well, we'll try this one and then call it a day. Hey, you.
Yeah?
Do you have a William Spencer living here?
Yeah, room 9, but he ain't in.
We know he isn't. He's on a slab in the county morgue. Give me the key to his room.
I ain't surprised none. He's been acting funny ever since the boss told him he'd have to pay his rent or get out.
Was he much behind?
Oh, about 2 months. You know, I couldn't savvy that guy. Never had a dime, and yet he was wearing a diamond sparkler on his finger that knocked you dead.
Yeah, I remember seeing it the last time I saw him alive. He always wore it for sentimental reasons. Bought it for a girl who died. Said no matter how tough he found the sledding, he'd never pawn it.
Well, he either pawned it or had it lifted tonight.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, he wasn't wearing it when we found him.
Maybe it's in his room. We'll look. Come on, Andy, down this hall.
Well, it's not here.
And here's the reason. A pawn ticket for a diamond ring dated yesterday.
Where'd you find that?
In his suitcase here. So Ace finally decided to pawn that ring, eh? You know, Andy, he must have had a reason for doing it.
Why? What was the ring worth?
Not a cent less than 10 grand.
And he was walking around penniless with a sparkler like that?
He wouldn't have parted with it for $1 million, unless he had a certain use for the money. He was a swell guy. Sentimental, too.
What are you getting at, Captain?
There's something there, Andy. I'm not saying that Ace Spencer didn't kill himself, but I'm saying that he must have had a reason for pawning that ring, and I'm going to find out what happened to the money.
Say, how about something to eat? First we go to the pawn shop, then we go down to talk to that stool pigeon, then we come back here to Carrington Hotel. Who you going to see down here?
Keep your shirt on, Andy. If Ace bumped himself off, he must have had a reason. I'm going to find out what that reason was. We're looking for room 681.
What did that stoolie mean when he said Ace was framed in a poker game?
He was talking about last summer. Ace Spencer dropped $23,000 in one game. There was talk that he was framed. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Maybe if he was framed last summer, he was framed again tonight. That's why he bumped himself off. Sol Levison said he gave him 10 grand on the ring. Ace told him he'd get it back tomorrow. Now, here we are.
Who lives here?
Bull Collins. I got a hunch that maybe Ace came up here tonight for a game. Bull Collins is supposed to be the guy who broke him last summer.
Maybe he's out.
Oh, Bull. Remember me?
Well, come in, Captain. You're just in time for a little drink.
No, thanks.
Cigar?
You can skip the rope, too. Who's your friend?
Oh, don't you know Flash? This is Flash Douglas, Captain Fraser.
How do you do?
What can I do for you, Captain?
Ace Spencer bumped himself off tonight.
No.
Yes. He did it because he lost heavily in a poker game earlier in the evening. We found a package of matches from this hotel, and I found your name on the register downstairs. Putting two and two together, I figured that maybe Ace was in a game with you and Douglas.
It is a swell job of figuring, Captain. Ace was up here tonight. Lost 10 grand. Said he was clean, but I doubt it.
He was giving it to you straight. We found him with only $5 on him.
No. What, if I'd have known that,
What time did Ace show up?
4:30 this afternoon?
Whose cards did you use?
Well, what do you mean by that?
You know what I mean. Was the game on the level, Bull?
You know it was. My games are always on the level. Anyway, Ace had me sent down to the cigar stand for 2 fresh decks.
Oh, he did he? Well, it was his funeral. Come on, Andy. We won't be bothering these gentlemen any longer.
So long.
Can we stop in the coffee shop for a bite to eat, Captain?
Pretty soon, Andy. We have some important business over here at the cigar stand. Hey, buddy.
Yes? What can I do for you?
Plenty. We're officers. You were working at 4:30 yesterday afternoon, weren't you?
Why, yes.
Do you remember sending some cards up to room 681?
Why, yes.
What are you getting so flustered about? I merely asked if you remembered sending them up.
Yes, I sent them up. 2 decks.
I see. Where'd you get them?
Out of the showcase here. Why?
Are you sure you got them out of the showcase?
Why, sure.
How many decks you got left?
I don't know.
Count them.
Yes, sir.
Up here in plain sight. That's it. Bring them all up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's your name, son?
Bailey. Fred Bailey.
Been working here long?
No, sir.
Well, how is it that the day clerk inventories the playing cards before you came on at 10 decks, and you sent 2 decks to room 681, and you still got 10 decks in the showcase? What kind of arithmetic is that?
Why, I don't know.
Listen, Bailey, you didn't know it at the time, but you got yourself mixed up in a pretty ticklish matter. And I'd advise you to come clean with us. You sent 2 packages of cards to 681 that didn't come from your stock, didn't you? Didn't you?
Well, yes, I sent him up. He said he'd give me $100, and I didn't know. Honest, I didn't.
Well, that's all we want to know. You stay here and take this fellow's statement, Andy. I'm going back upstairs. I don't know that there's anything I can do about it, but we'll see.
Well, we didn't expect you back, Captain. Come back for the drink?
No.
Well, sit down. Let's have a little talk.
You can skip that, too. In fact, you can skip all the baloney.
What do you mean?
I mean that it'll be a long time before you do any more gambling in this town, Bull. In fact, I'm going to see what the chances are of getting you tossed in the can.
Are you crazy?
No, are you? Look here, Bull. It was Ace Spencer's own funeral when he came in here. I'm not crabbing about that. I know he had it coming to him someday. That's all okay. But I can't understand why a big shot like you would deliberately take Ace with a couple of stacked decks when you knew he was down and out and trying to make a comeback. You knew that you'd drive him to suicide. Maybe I've been wrong all my life about giving a guy a break when he's down, but I'll get that. You stay where you are. Hello? Yeah, this is me, Andy. You been talking to who? Oh, the cigar clerk. What? What? He said that Ace... Hey!
Oh!
Hey, you will pull a gun on me, will you?
You broke my arm.
Hello, Andy. Come on up right away. This tin horn tried to pull a rod on me. Yeah, I'm okay. Well, that's one on me. I was working this thing out just backwards. It was Ace Spencer who bribed the cigar clerk to send those fixed cards to your room. But it was you, Bull, who found it out. And after Ace had taken every cent you had, you followed him to that vacant lot and killed him with his own gun.
All right, Fraser.
You shouldn't have done that, Bull. Ace was a swell guy.
Police headquarters. This is Sergeant Flynn's day off. I imagine you can find him at the racetrack with Sergeant O'Shea. You're welcome.
Oh, it's another drink you owe me, Sarge. That nag you picked didn't even make the back stretch.
And that flea-bitten skate you picked wouldn't bring 2 bits to the glue factory.
Well, he won the race, didn't he? Come on, pay up, Sarge.
Okay, wait till we get to Eddie's. I want to see the big race.
Well, the handicap isn't on until the 7th. We'll have time to go to Eddie's and get back by then.
Okay, Mike, either way. But if we miss the big race, there'll be one son of Ireland who'll show up to police duty tomorrow with a bump on his head.
And if I do, it'll be because I walked into that door, you big leather-necked Mick. Come on. Is that guy over there trying to attract your attention?
Where? Oh, that's Johnny Stone. Owns the Whitehead stable.
Oh, well, whoever he is, he's busting his neck trying to get through the crowd to see you.
He's a pretty nice guy, Mike. Let's see what he wants.
He's probably got a tip for you.
Well, if he has, it's a square one. Johnny Stone is a square shooter. Hello, Johnny. What's on your mind?
Can I talk to you for a minute, Sergeant?
I don't know, Johnny. Anything important?
It's about the big race. I'd like to see you right away.
Oh, all right. Supposing we beat it over to your stable, Johnny. Oh, and this is Sergeant O'Shea.
Glad to know you.
All right.
Let's duck through here, Sergeant.
Lead the way. What's on your mind?
I'd rather not talk until we get out of this crowd.
Oh, what's the matter?
Well, something has me worried, Flynn. Worried to death, and I don't know what to do.
Something concerning the track?
Yeah. Here, I think the door's unlocked. Yeah. Come in, Sergeant O'Shea.
Hi.
All right, Johnny. I've got you up in the air. Spill it.
Wait until I pull down the shade.
Acts like somebody was out gunning for you.
They are. Or that is, they will be if High Flight wins the handicap.
What do you mean?
I'm in a jam, Flynn. A bad one. My horse is set to go. She looks like a winner to me, and then these torpedo men come in with instructions that she's not to win.
Who?
Rick Randall and Tony Madero.
Oh, so you've got those 2 hot shots on your trail, huh?
Yes, and they mean business, Sergeant. I know them. They wouldn't hesitate to kill me if I crossed them up.
Hooey. Remember, Johnny, every big shot has a streak of yellow down his back when you talk back to him.
Yeah, but you don't know these 2 fellas. They wouldn't do the job themselves. They'd hire someone from out of town to do it.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
I don't know. I've always run a square stable, and I don't like the idea of telling the jock to pull the horse. And then another thing. My horse is set to go. I've bet every penny I could scrape up on this race, and I want to see my colors come through.
Oh, then why don't you tell Randall and Madera to go lay an egg?
Because I'm afraid to, I guess.
Now listen, Johnny. Don't let those guys bluff you. They'll crawl back into their shell if you tell them where to head in. Go on. If you think your horse is set to deliver, have the kid ride her for all she's worth. I'll back you up.
Will you, Flynn? Just until the race is over, then I'll hire someone to look after me.
Sure we will. Won't we, Mike?
Sure thing.
I hate to come crawling this way, but I've got a wife and 2 fine kids. What I stand to win or lose wouldn't be worth the pain they'd suffer if anything happened to me.
Nothing will happen to you, Johnny. We'll see to that. How about the jockey? Think they got to him?
I don't think so. I think he'd tell me right away. Anyway, he wouldn't dare pull her. I know that horse like a book. She's set for a win today, and nothing can stop her.
Good boy. You stay here with him, Mike, and I'll saunter over and place a few bucks of Mrs. Flynn's grocery money on High Flight to win.
Sure, and here's a 5 spot for me. I guess I...
Who is it?
I don't know.
Open the door, Mike, and I'll slip back behind this curtain.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, who was expected, sweetheart? Come on in, Tony.
Well, what do you want, Randall?
You know what we want. How's your horse going to finish in the 7th?
Up in front.
Yeah, and you know how you'll finish. Up in front of a funeral procession. Listen, Stone, if you...
You listen to me, you cheap tin horn gambler. That horse wins, and you're not going to stop him, savvy?
Oh, so you called in the bulls, did you, Johnny?
No, he didn't call in the bulls. We happen to be friends of Johnny's, and we're not going to see him bluffed out of this race by a couple of yellowback racketeers. Friskin, Mike.
Say, listen, take your hands, sir. You can't do this.
Oh, I can, huh? Just turn around and face the wall before I take a pop at you. There. Now, Friskin, Mike, and if you find a gap in either one of them, we'll call the wagon.
No gun, Sarge.
You're not getting away with this, you dumb cop.
Oh, no? Now, listen, Sap. If you're smart, you'll clear out of here as fast as you came in. Both of you. We're staying with Johnny until after the race. And if anything happens to Johnny or the horse, we'll look you up. I'll get.
Boy, did you hand that guy a mouthful.
That's what he needed. Too bad I couldn't clap him in the jug. If I'd arrested him, he'd beat the rap.
Oh, hey, Sarge, that's a big race. They're calling to the post. Come on.
Let's go out this way. I've got a box right close to the track.
Now, you go with him, Mike. I've got the beat to the deadline on the mutuals if we put up any simoleons on the high flight. I'll meet you at the box.
Well, he ought to be back by now. Oh, here he is. How'd luck, Sarge? Did you place a bet?
Did I? 6.5 to 1. Your horse better win, Johnny.
If she don't, I'll be as surprised as you are, Flynn. And it won't be because she was pulled. I sent word to Freddie to boot her home.
Oh, Freddie Tate riding the nag?
Yes.
Oh, we're a cinch to win. And those 2 mugs thought they could bluff you out of a race that's rightfully yours. I just saw him back in the box looking like somebody stepped on him.
They're lowering the tape.
What position's High Flight running in?
3. She looks like a cinch.
Boy, oh boy, look at him go. Where's your nag, Johnny? Quick! Come on, High Flight!
Hey, look, they're bunching at the turn. Come on, High Flight!
Jockey's got her all wrapped up. You won't start letting her out until the backstretch.
He's letting out right now. High Flight is moving into 5th place. Look at that jockey ride, will you?
Better ride or there'll be no coaches for the Flynns next week.
She's hitting his stride now. She'll be pulling up.
Oh, say she is. Can you feel Mike?
Yeah, she's moved up to 3rd.
Around in the turn and heading for the stretch. Come on, High Flight. Come on, High Flight.
Yeah, she's on right now. Come on, gal. Come on.
Come on, High Flight.
Come on, old gal. Boot her, Freddie. That's the time.
Second place. It's in the bag, Mike.
Come on, gal. Come on, High Flight. She's neck and neck. She's pulling it. Hey, what's going on down there? What's the matter with that jockey?
He's hurt.
It's Freddie. He's off.
Come on, Mike. Over the trail.
Yeah.
There's something fishy down there. That jockey didn't just fall off that horse.
The doctor reports, Sarge.
And the jockey was shot through the head with a steel-jacketed bullet.
That's just what I thought.
Where's Johnny Stone?
I left him at home. Got a couple of men watching the place.
Good idea. They might have some crazy idea of trying to get Johnny.
I told Williams and Ryan to cover the house every minute. What do you want me down here for?
To give me a hand. I sent 2 of the boys out to bring Randall and Madero into the station.
You think they did it?
And I think they had it done.
Yeah, but they were away.
If either one of them had taken aim at the track with a rifle, there'd been 100 people saw them.
Yeah, well, how was it done? The fellow who shot him had to be fairly close to the track for accuracy. Somebody would have seen him.
Yeah, that's just what's causing me all the worry. How could some yegg kill a jockey in front of 20,000 people and yet nobody see him do it?
Looks like one with a book.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can pound something out of Randall and Madero. I got a hunch, though, that those two birds will yell their heads off for a lawyer and shut up tighter than a clam. Yeah?
Captain Jacobson here with your men, Pat.
Oh, send them right in.
Right.
Randall and Madero are outside. I'm not going to waste any time with them. I'm coming straight to the point. You stick around and give me a hand.
Okay.
Come in. Over here, you guys, in those two chairs there.
Say, what's the idea?
Now listen. The next peep out of either one of you, and I'll knock your teeth down your throat. Who'd you hire to put the finger on Johnny Stone's jockey?
I'm not talking. Do I see my lawyer?
See? What'd I tell you, Mike?
Yeah, there are a couple of rats.
You've no right to hold us. I'll have it.
No? That's the door, Mike. There's liable to be something going on in here that wouldn't sound nice outside. Now, you rats, who did you hire for that job? Well, I didn't think they'd talk. We'll keep them in the jug as long as we can. Meantime, we'll hope that something will break.
Where are you going now?
Down the street to the Bijou Theater. They're showing the first pictures of that race. I think maybe that seeing it again might refresh my mind on a few things.
It's a good idea.
Got everything all set, Mike?
Yeah?
All right, Captain. We're ready for those two guys. When we get them in here, we'll show you just what happened.
You seem pretty sure of yourself.
Yeah, we are. All right, Mike, bring them in.
Come on in, you. Sit down over there. You take that chair, Randall. You sit over here, Madero.
Say, what's all the baloney for? You haven't got a thing on us.
I wouldn't be too sure of that. Yeah? Oh, Mr. District Attorney, come in. Just in time. Take that chair right over there with the captain.
Thanks.
Now, I'm going to show you, Mr. District Attorney, and you, Captain, how these two rats got a Chicago thug to kill Johnny Stone's jockey so High Flight wouldn't win that race.
You're full of hop.
Yeah? All right, turn the lights off, Mike.
Okay.
Now, start the picture machine, operator. You're now seeing the pictures of Freddie Tate's last ride. At the same time, we're showing only the final stretch of the race. Now, you see the horses flying down the track. You see a partial view of the crowd, and if you look real close in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see two men with a camera. Notice that one of the men has a black hood over the camera and over his head. Now, slow it down, operator.
Say, you can't pull this.
I won't shut that guy up, Mike. Now, watch that camera closely. There. You see that little puff of white smoke? Now, watch the man come out from under the hood and turn around and face the camera. There. Stop the machine there.
Great Scott. Spike Adams.
Yeah. Mike and I raided his hotel room and found the trick camera. It had a rifle with a silencer on it, mounted right inside under the hood. Spike came in while we were searching the place, reached for his rod, and Mike shot him to the stomach. He died about an hour ago. But before he died, he gave us a full statement saying that he was paid $1,000 for the job.
$1,000? Who paid it?
These gentlemen right here, Randall and Madero.
Welcome back. It was somewhat interesting in the first story, and as a book I was reading recently pointed out, somewhat atypical for the era in terms of having the police sympathetic with a criminal. Though it's somewhat funny that they kept insisting that he was such a marvelous guy, and pretty much there was no proof of that by anything we learned about his life, particularly the end. Yeah, he died as a result of trying to cheat $10,000 out of somebody at cards. Such a great guy. But it was an interesting twist end, particularly with the way they had been thinking of the solution. With that, we turn to some listener comments and feedback, and we have this from James, who says, on Facebook, last night I was listening to you read comments when I heard that someone doesn't like the loud, irritating music you play at the start of every show. Well, I agree. Well, I appreciate your opinion. I'll definitely take that into consideration. Another listener comment on a pretty interesting note. I received an email from Travis, who says, "Hello, if you recall, I made a post on the wall a while back about listening to radio shows to better my reference level for improvisation. I thought I would update you on how that's been going. A few nights ago, my team and I did a whole 20-minute comedic film noir-esque improvisation. In short, it brought the house down. All of my listening to the podcast really paid off as I stepped up to play the detective in the story, who I perhaps not so cleverly introduced as yours truly, Nicky Nickel. My team and I are now exploring the possibility of taking a while to only improvise stories in this style and really master it. Thank you again for your wonderful podcast. I'm now getting my team to listen to it as well. Keep it up." Well, thanks so much, Travis. And it's definitely an interesting thing with improvisation. If you watch or attend improv, there tends to be certain games that kind of everybody plays. Things like Blind Line, which if you saw the show Whose Line Is It Anyway, basically you get lines from the audience with all the players out of the room who are going to participate in the sketch, and then the players have to work the lines into the sketch. And there are a bunch of standard games like that. But I really appreciate, when it comes to improv groups, those that work in their own special games, their own little special things they do. I saw, for example, the Comedy Sports World Championships back in 2008. Went to Portland to see those, and they did a game called Randy Newman, which was very unique to the Provo Comedy Sports, where they would actually have someone singing a song in the style of Randy Newman. Thus the game. And it's always great to have those special touches. I appreciate that you're listening to the show, and best of luck to you with all your improv efforts. All right, well, that will do it for today. We'll be back on Monday with Pursuit, and then join us back here next Saturday for another episode, or 2 episodes of Police Headquarters. In the meantime, send your comments to box13@greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter, Radio Detectives, and become one of our friends on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio Detectives. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.